Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good night, good morning, good day, wherever you are in the world. And welcome to Everything Trini and Then Some. I am your host, Brendan, aka Bruzo, and I will be coming to you on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, bringing you content, bringing you topics from uh, this beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago, as well as touching on all the current things that are currently going on in the world. It doesn't matter what it is, sports, um, some politics, not too much, but relationship matters, a lot of stuff that people can relate to, and but more importantly, have an opinion on. Because I am definitely willing to hear from you guys in this space. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the notification bell to get all your notifications when I upload. Now, with that said, as I said, my name is Brendan, aka Bruzo. I born and raised right here in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's a beautiful country. I would implore everyone around the world who can hear this voice to visit us. Of course, I'm going to recommend that you guys come during Carnival time, which is the biggest festival in the world. A lot of color, a lot of costumes, and we have a kiddies carnival as well as the main event on Monday and Tuesday. This event is usually held in February or sometimes in March, depending on the calendar. But it's a wonderful festival, and you should at least try to visit it at least once in your life. I guarantee you, after the first time, you will be back. All right. With that said, we're gonna touch on just a few things, a couple of things that I saw happen in the world that interested me. I'm going to post a question to you guys in the relationship space a little later on. I'm very anxious to hear how you guys, your thoughts on that particular subject. In the meantime, I am in the process of watching the Western Conference Finals. It is 126 to 125 with 7 seconds. Well, now 6.1 remaining. So, for the sports fans out there, I do touch on sports as well. Basketball in particular, because it is my favorite sport, but um, I am interested in NFL football as well. Of course, cricket, especially of the 20 over variety. Very exciting cricket, very exciting version of the game, which has over the years become the most popular. Um, so, I'm definitely going to be touching on all of that. Um, I welcome you guys. I hope that you guys welcome me in this space. Again, please comment, subscribe. I want to hear from you guys. Um, you know, as I said, Trinidad, it's a place that um, just like anywhere else, we have our issues, but it's a very beautiful place. April 28th this year, we had an administration change as far as our political environment. The UNC took over from the past administration, the PNM, or the People's National Movement, and they are now in charge of this country from a governmental standpoint, led by the Honorable Prime Minister Kamala Bissar. Um, that that in itself was a very unique time. Um, of course, when someone's party loses, it's always a disappointment. But I tend to be very objective in that space. I say may the best person win, and wait to see what they do with their time in office. Once you do good, you can get back there. If not, then that is what the democratic process is there for. If you are not satisfied, then you exercise your right and you do what you need to do to get change. All right. With that said, uh, I will touch on something I saw in the news. kind of disappointing because this gentleman is somebody that I follow, is somebody that makes me laugh. The comedian Haha Davis. I'm sure a lot of you out there know him, whether in the local space or internationally. He's a very popular guy in the United States, very popular comedian who started in this space as well, in this space meaning the internet, and has grown his followers from the fantastic job he does with his skits and whatnot. Unfortunately, I believe I read, if I'm not mistaken, on the 24th of May, which was Saturday. He was arrested for alleged domestic violence. Um, of course, if that is the case, nowhere in the world do we condone such. Um, Men, you all need to, and women, we need to keep our hands to ourselves. Sometimes I know the circumstance might be egregious, it might be shocking, it might be surprising, and these circumstances can lead to a particular type of emotion. But as best as you can, please do not put your hands on females, and females do not put your hands on guys as well. With that said, um, I don't believe in cancel culture, so I'm definitely going to continue to be a supporter of Haha Davis. I just hope that he is able to get over this obstacle, whatever he needs to do, whatever they need to do in order to be within a safe environment. Um, if they can work it out, then fine. If it's a situation where, they need to, it's a bit humid here, but they need to be apart, then so be it. But because of the limited information we got as it relates to the circumstance, what I would say is that if it is the young lady that he has been making some of the skits with, who I think he introduced to us as his girlfriend, I think last year or a year before, then I hope that they can come out of that. Um, because he does seem to really love her, but oddly enough, some of the skits, a lot of his skits, especially when he brought her in, um, played on the fact, uh, played on her beauty and how beautiful she was, and his skits were included a lot of jealousy type jokes, right? So, I mean, I hope that this is not a case where art becomes life. Um, But as I said, the details are very limited. I just brought it up to say that I know that his supporters are wishing him well, and including me. I started following him some years ago, and I hope that he can get over the hump. Um, well, live, I'm seeing here. Um, OKC has gone up 3-1 over the Minnesota Timberwolves, um, which is, I mean, it's good for them. But I hope that Minnesota can extend the series. Not only because I want to see more basketball, but just because I think their team has potential to win a couple more games. I think the Thunder is overall the best team, as they should be number one. Shea Gildish Alexander with a career high 40 points, but Minnesota, they showed that they belong. So I hope that they can extend it, that it doesn't end in five. They can extend it to a sixth game. But you know, either way, good luck to anyone, to either team. If they finish it in five, then they will just be waiting on the end of the Eastern Conference Final between New York and Indiana, which in itself has been very interesting um, in its own right. With New York losing two games at the Garden and then pulling back one in Indiana. So it's a really intriguing series with a lot of surprises, a lot of things that we're not expecting in terms of um, you know in terms of how the games end. Uh, Knicks had a terrible showing in game one, a historical showing, not the best of kind, not the best one in terms of history. And then game three, I think they came back from being down 20, I believe, to pull it out, to extend, to not go down 0-3 in that series. So good luck to both of them. Avid basketball fan here, so you'll definitely be hearing a lot, especially now while the playoffs is on the verge of coming to an end in June. But for right now, we enjoying the playoffs and hope to have as entertaining a show as possible until the crown has been achieved. Um, uh, so, so remember I said that in the beginning that I had a question for you guys, and this is a question that has been going on for the last. I mean, I want to say since I think I've seen topics in this regard since COVID. It was made even more popular by the introduction of Kevin Samuels and the amount of content that he put out before he passed. But it more or less has to do with the whole idea of dating in 2025. And what we see is expected by the women, and what the guys tend to accept, especially based on status, right? So my question to you guys, and I'm looking forward to hearing the answers in the comments. What do you think is the way to go as it relates to dating in 2025 and beyond? Do you think that it is fair to ask ladies what they bring to the table? Do you think that the lady should expect the man to pay all the bills and not contribute, um, well, at least not contribute financially, and just bring what they believe to be enough? Now, I know that varies depending on the woman, but holistically, I am asking if, especially women, I want to know if the women believe, um, from a financial point of view, what is their role going into a relationship that might potentially lead to marriage in 2025 and beyond. And for the guys, um, do you believe that you need to attain a certain level of wealth, a certain level of status, a certain level of financial comfortability in order to get a lady? And if so, is it that we now have to use that to get the woman that we would like to eventually marry and be the mother of our kids? There's a lot of unique perspectives on this. Kevin Samuels himself brought a lot of stuff which I didn't always agree with, simply because he came across as unrealistic at times. He was very harsh to women who had a particular type of past, who had a particular size, who had a particular age. And those are the things that I definitely didn't agree with him on. Because at the end of the day, I do believe that everyone deserves love and deserves a chance at happiness and whatnot. But with that said, we do know that there are some circumstances that women find themselves in. And I guess the point he was trying to make is when you have these circumstances around you, you can't afford to be too choosy or too picky. And I would agree with that to an extent. Because as I said, my bottom line is people deserve to be happy, people deserve to get what they want. But then you have circumstances that may happen between 19 and 40 that may now not afford you the ability to be too choosy or to be too picky. By the time you're 40, you may have a couple of kids, never married. Is it at that stage you can still afford to say, well, I would like a guy making six figures a year and he must do this and he must do that? Um, and, some people believe that your circumstances, and, and again, this is why I'm asking you guys to help me out. Some people believe that your circumstances supposed to humble you a bit, and I mean, I believe that to a point. But you guys tell me what the expectation should be. Um, and guys, is it that if we don't reach that financial status that we dream of, should we not be happy as well? Should we not get that girl or that lady in our lives because we are now considered a failure in that regard? It's an interesting thing, interesting topic. Kevin Samuels is not the only one who has content in the space that speaks of a certain way. But it's interesting to hear, even from you guys right here in Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, we dating as well. We have a pool of people who date, and I see how it's transitioning from the 90s into the 2000s and the 2010s and beyond. There's a lot. Well, let's just say it's different, and I'm interested to hear you guys take on certain things as well. Um, Please excuse the heat. I think I might be a little too close to these lights, so I might have to do some adjustments because I'm feeling very warm, and maybe this top is not helping either. But nevertheless, it's trial and error. It's a space I always wanted to be in, so here I am. And as I said, I look forward to hearing you guys. Um, I'm not going to be too long on this, what I would consider an introductory video. I would like to hear you guys take on my questions. And even if you have other ideas and suggestions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments. I appreciate each and every one. Any and all comments are welcome. So suggestions, critiques, whatever they may be, I'd like to see what you guys have in mind and see what we can bring forth to you guys in the future. All right. So it's been a pleasure. Um, Definitely gonna, as I said, it's a lot of Caribbean content as well as, well, Trinidad content as well as, hot topics from around the world. Um, Look forward to hearing from you guys. As I said, my name is Brendan, aka Bruzo. Um, keep your comments coming. Remember to like and subscribe as well. Turn on the notification bell so that you guys can hear each time, or get notified rather, each time I upload. Love, peace in the house. Take care. This was everything Trini and then some. See you around.